StryfeSight, baby, we're back. We're back. StryfeSight on Anita Baker. StryfeSight on Anita Baker. Now, I will once again go back and tell you where we started and where we are now and where we're going. We started this with an idea to learn, right? It's really just the learning and the history of the music. You know, there's so many great artists there in the past. I was born in 90. That means there's a lot of artists that I was single digits that were great, and a lot of artists that just came out before I was born that I didn't know about. So we started this with hip hop. We started with Tupac, then we went Biggie, then we went UGK, then we went Twista, right? Then I did a month of rock. And it was Journey, and then it was Led Zeppelin, then it was Black Sabbath, and then it was Heart, right? So we did that, and then we're in the last week of R&B month, right? But we started R&B month with the Isley Brothers. Then we did Patti LaBelle, my mom's fave. Then we did Sade, my fave. And then we did Sade. And then we did, who else did we do? Oh, Anita Baker. That's who we did. My bad. I'm having a brain fart because my kitty cat right here, I don't know if you guys can see, my kitty cat right here is being a bit of a nuisance. So I am holding him for as long as he will allow me to, so he can calm down and maybe perhaps leave the room and quit messing with underneath my legs. Does that sound cool at all, man? No? Or do I just need to chill and pet you? Is that what it is? Anyway, let's get into this. Anita Baker, I chose her because she's my father's favorite R&B artist. So here we go. Anita Baker had 7 studio albums. We're going to start with Songstress. Where is the track listing? Down here. Now, Songstress begins with very chill vibes. A song called Angel. It's a song about a partner being so supportive that they feel like an angel. So nice. The instrumentation on this album feels very jazzy and with steady paces and has a very smooth feel to it. Feel the Need. This is a song that is a smooth R&B jam that is about unrequited love, speaking to a partner that sees you as an afterthought and not a priority. Saying that I know you feel the need in me are lyrics in the song. Like, I know you feel the need in me, the need for you. So I was like, huh, that's interesting. I like that. Now, this is a song that is a chill, relaxing song about resilience and respecting and recognizing that sometimes you'll win and sometimes you'll lose in love and in life. So nice life lessons song. Right. Will You Be Mine? This is a song that's a sweet R&B ballad that is speaking on taking a chance on love after heartbreak and getting unexpected healing from that heartbreak in this new venture of love. Will You Be Mine? Now, the hits in this album end up being No More Tears. By the way, I did not mention the year. This is 1984. Hits in this album end up being No More Tears, Will You Be Mine, Angel, and Sometimes. The feel of this album had a lovey-dovey feel, you know, as a lot of the content was speaking on love and heartbreak and the joy you feel in a relationship. Was all, and also the support, you know, the support you feel in a relationship as well. That was the majority of the feel. The content of this album primarily spoke on love, but also perseverance through hard times. My favorite song on this ends up being No More Tears. This is just a beautifully, powerfully sung song that is about leaving a one-sided relationship and setting boundaries and not crying anymore due to the pain of it. Due to the pain of it. But yeah, the songstress came out in 1983, actually, not 84. Now we've got the Rapture, or not the Rapture. We've got Rapture. This song, or not song. This album came out in 85. I just read it, but my cat is attacking me. So 86. All right, you done? All right. Yeah, this came out in 86. So Rapture, this opens with a mega hit reference track, Sweet Love. I'm in love, sweet love. Hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame. I'm in love. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. More Strife singing moments. You know, more Strife singing serenades. Oh, I like that. Strife string. Ooh, sound like the hash slinging slasher. Hold on. Strife singing serenades. Ooh. I don't need to say singing in there, I'm pretty sure. So we'll just call it Strife serenades. There we go. But I like the Strife singing serenades. That's a triple S joint for you. Kind of a tongue twister. Say that fast 3 times, 5 times, something like that. Strife singing serenades. Strife singing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying that. That's I like that. But anyway, yeah, Sweet Love. This is a beautiful classic song about giving yourself to love and the experience of love as a whole, and it being such a powerful and secure love that it feels like a sweet love. Now, the concept song here, another big song called Caught Up in the Rapture. This is a beautiful song that is a perfect example of being overwhelmed by love. And it just uses the rapture as a bit of a metaphor for being lost within that love, you know. That's the song. I believe it starts. Y'all don't know nothing about that. I'm starting to get the notes a little. I'm starting to get a little better. You know, I'm sure Anita been teaching me a little bit. I've been listening to, you know. Anyway, beautiful song. Now, there's another song here called Been So Long. This is a jazzy R&B song that is about confronting a partner that's neglectful and standing on business and communicating that you won't be taken for granted. So I like the concept of that song for sure. Watch Your Step. This is a energetic jazzy song that's upbeat, that speaks to people that break hearts and see dating as more of a game and less of, you know, humans being hurt by the games by your manipulation. This song is like a what goes around comes around kind of song, and it has a really cool saxophone solo in it as well. Now the hits in this album end up being Sweet Love, Caught Up in the Rapture, Been So Long, and No One in the World. Now this album felt more energetic and jazzy and also more centered in love. Sweet Love, Caught Up in the Rapture, You Bring Me Joy are songs that make the album feel lovey-dovey, but the other songs bring a livelier energy to it, and I noticed that. The content of this album spoke about love, heartbreak, spoke about the partner that cheated and the confrontation of that as well. So my favorite song ends up being a 3-way tie, actually, between Sweet Love. It's so classic. How can you not sing it? You know, Caught Up in the Rapture. Caught Up in the Rapture of You. Come on, man. Been So Long. This is the 3-way tie, because Sweet Love is just too classic of a reference song for the artist. Caught Up in the Rapture is just such a beautiful song about being caught up in love in a positive way that's sung so beautifully. And Been So Long has a vibe to it that I like. Like vibe to it that I like. And even though the content of the song is a bit sad, to confront a neglectful like lover, the feel of the song is fire. And I like it. I like it. Now, next we got Giving You the Best That I Got. This starts with priceless song. Why did I say priceless? Oh, this starts with, let me go to the track list. Now I'm tripping. This came out in 1988, by the way. This album starts with the song called Priceless. This is an even tempoed R&B ballad that is about the amount of work that a partner feels another partner is priceless, worth, not work. The amount of worth that a partner feels another partner is priceless is how much you are to me. Can't put a cost on how much you're worth. Oh, beautiful for sure. Now we have self-titled track, Giving You the Best That I Got. Ooh-wee. This song is, is a sweet, steady-paced, somewhat jazzy song that is about being the best person that you can be for someone else, giving them the best that you got in a loving way, I like the cadence that it's sung with. It's got a nice giving you the best that I got. Yeah, it's got a nice cadence to it, nice bounce to it. Now, of a concept song here called Rules, this song is a sultry R&B ballad that is about expecting a partner to follow rules of companionship, infidelity, and finding out that their partner, and there is infidelity in finding out that their partner did not follow the rules, of companionship, staying to one another, not cheating and stuff like that. So it's an interesting concept. Now, I love you just because. Yeah. Now I know that wasn't sung well, but that was in the cadence that was needed for you to understand what it was. Just because this is a beautiful, even tempo ballad that is about loving someone, accepting someone for who they are, with an unwavering level of support. I love you just because. It's a beautiful song. Beautiful song, beautiful sentiment. I love it. Big fan. Now, the hits in this album end up being Giving You the Best That I Got, Good Love, and Just Because. This album felt relaxing and romantic. The content ends up being centered around love, relationships, and fidelity, and that makes the album feel quite romantic and sad at times. The content of this album spoke on partner support, infidelity, it spoke on love and heartbreak, and also a special, a special type of love. Now, my favorite song on this ends up being Good Love. This song, I want to know just what good love feels like. It's just sung in such a way that really makes you feel like she's desperate for love in a way that is relatable, So if you've ever felt like you've been having a bad time with love, or you met a couple bad partners, or bad people that you were interested in and didn't reciprocate the way that you would have liked, this song is super relative. And it was relative to me, not presently, but I remember the feels of wanting to, experience good love. So I like that song a lot. Next album we got Compositions, 1990. I was 0 when this came out. I was 0. Now, this opens with smooth R&B ballad Talk to Me, which is a song about communication. The lyrics of the chorus literally say, "What's wrong with you? Why don't you tell me what's so wrong with you?" Or what's going on with you? It's literally just what's wrong with you? Why don't you tell me what's going on with you? It's like just that in itself is like this. I like songs that are about things that people can easily understand, but can also be very helpful. Just asking someone what's wrong or what's going on promotes the idea of communication. I would like for more people to be better and more efficient at communication, especially in relationships, but not just romantic relationships, friendships, family relationships, brother and sister, all of that. Like, I believe that all of us can get better at communication. So a song like this, I'm really happy to hear about. Now, the concept song we have here called Perfect Love Affair. This song is a beautiful song that is more of an emotional transformation than it is about an actual affair. This song states that the love that they experience is the perfect love affair for like a change in one's like heart and feeling. So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was about an actual affair, but I was incorrect about that thought. Now, whatever it takes, this is an evocative, sensual song that speaks on doing whatever it takes to earn one's trust and keep them in a relationship. I love the vibe of this song. It is very serious. It's made with heavy intention of like, I'm gonna do whatever like it takes, and I like that energy. I do. Now, Fairy Tales, this is a beautiful R&B ballad that is about letting go of fairy tales and not believing that the person you're dating is your knight in shining armor, gaining maturity and an honest perspective. So that is good. I think that I can relate to this song, but I just had like fantasies of dating one person and like that person being the only person I dated, and that was foolish. Something like a fairy tale. What she's talking about is like all of the princessy, queenly, fictional stuff that are about like queens and princesses finding love, searching for it, and stuff like that, and thinking that this guy that they're interested in is magical and stuff like that. That doesn't really work in the real world. So this song is to address that. Now, the hits in this album end up being "Talk to Me," "Whatever It Takes," and "Fairy Tales." This album felt more sensual and just more emotionally potent, maybe due to the singing. Maybe the singing hit more, or maybe the instrumentation in the background just made the album feel more emotional as a whole. I think both of them for sure. The concept of this album spoke about emotional maturity, spoke about heartbreak, also doing whatever it takes to ensure a partner's trust and love, spoke on love healing past heartbreak wounds, and it also spoke on communication helping the relationship. My favorite song ends up being "Whatever It Takes." This song just makes you feel like she is very serious and very committed to the idea of doing whatever it takes to ensure the safety and the commitment of the relationship that she desires. And the music in the background just gives it such a sensual and emotional feeling, right behind her singing. So definitely a fire song that I liked a lot. Next we have Rhythm of Love. Rhythm of Love going to 1994. Now, Rhythm of Love opens with self-titled song that is about moving to a rhythm of love that emphasizes to move without like the stresses or the terrible ideals of the world, and it uses intimacy as an escape of the strife of life. So I think that is pretty cool. Body and Soul. This is a beautiful R&B song that is about transcending heartbreak into an all-encompassing love that is so powerful that it is felt in the body and soul. So it's beautiful. We have another concept song here, "You Belong to Me." This song is a beautiful plea to tell a partner that they don't need anyone else, as the partner is looking for other women for validation. So also in this song, Anita speaks to the other woman and tells her that she really loves him, as if Anita's love will make the other woman leave him alone. So thought that was interesting. I like these angles. I've only heard a couple of songs where someone will speak, like someone in a relationship. It'll be a song where someone's in a relationship speaking to the person that is being cheated with, and not the confrontation of the partner. So, but I do think it's interesting because when you're in a situation like that in real life, sometimes your like jealousy and envy and your emotions just they make you want to talk to that person when you need to talk to the person that's doing the actual cheating. So but yeah, I find those songs pretty interesting. I've only heard a couple so far. Now, there's a concept song here, Wrong Man. This is an emotional song about wanting a man that does not respect you and isn't capable of loving you the way that you desire. So, this is an interesting song. Now, we have another song here, My Funny Valentine. This is a slow, jazzy song that is emotional and about understanding that love is not about finding someone flawless, but more so about accepting someone for who they are with their flaws. So, My Funny Valentine. Now, the hits in this end up being Rhythm of Love, I Apologize, and Body and Soul. This album felt very romantic, just sweet and emotional, and just very like real. The content of this album spoke on infidelity, it spoke on loving the wrong person, also appreciating someone for who they are, and heartbreak and romance as a whole. Now, my favorite song in this ends up being I Apologize. This song just feels like this song just has a fantastic message, and it just feels like very, very classic R&B, you know, and she sings and scats in this, which is really cool. Anita Baker has a not a vast tendency to scat, but every now and then she does vocal things that remind me of what I know what scatting is. So, like it's a jazz vocal technique. And I was like, huh, this is actually pretty cool. Next, we have My Everything. This begins with You're My Everything. It's a beautiful R&B ballad that is about showing love and the acknowledgement of a person being their everything, bringing joy and love, you know. So also, this got released 10 years later. It's got usually released 10 years later, and I will bring up why that is in the future, in 2004. Now, we have a song here called Serious. This is a song that's a beautiful R&B ballad that is about romantic commitment and the idea that the casual relationship should move to a more serious one. Of another song, Like You Used To. This is a beautiful dynamic duo between Babyface and Anita Baker that is speaking on passionate and loving times in a relationship that was in the beginning of the relationship compared to the later parts of the relationship. So, Love Me Like You Used To are literally lyrics inside of it. So, we have another song here called Men in My Life. This is a beautiful, slower paced ballad about the love she has and feels for the three men in her life, her husband and two sons. So it's a beautiful song about appreciation of those. Now the hits in this end up being Serious and You're My Everything. This album felt like a mature R&B album, you know, mostly from love to the content about loving your sons and husbands to talking about taking away the casual relationship and being more serious. This just felt like a very mature and smooth R&B album. The content of this album touched on topics of casual relationships turning serious. It touched on the men and appreciating the men in your life, your husband and sons. It also spoke on love and heartbreak. It spoke on someone being your everything. It also spoke on the long relationship missing the passion of its genesis. My favorite song on this ends up being Like You Used To. This song is just a fantastic duo with Babyface, and I know the message is a little sad, you know, being like to miss the old times that were better, essentially. But it is sung beautifully between Anita and him, and I love it. All right. Last but not least, we have in 2005, Christmas Fantasy. This opens with Frosty's Rag. This is a jazzy Frosty the Snowman with a twist of if he was alive and a charming person to females. So that's what this is about. I was pleasantly surprised about this. It was interesting. We have Christmas Fantasy, the self-titled song, is a beautiful, sultry R&B song that states that Anita is excited about this guy being her Christmas fantasy and her being excited to be his Christmas fantasy, taking the dating phase to a romantic and intimate phase. So, and she scats on this song a decent or a few times as well. So I made a note of her scatting because it's something that I did not hear as much in previous R&B catalogs. So I thought it was interesting. The instrumentation on this album is noticeably more energetic and jazz infused than most of the other albums that I've heard from Anita. It just gives the album a more fun and bouncy feel to it. Now, Moonlight Sleigh Ride and God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen stick out as very jazzy songs, but Family of Man, this is a beautiful track that speaks on the wanting to celebrate the unity amongst the entire human race, and the desire for mutual connection and holding hands to support each other globally. This is like a world peace anthem, Family of Man. This is she also has my favorite version of These Are a Few of My Favorite Things. The version that Anita sings just has a lot of energy and a lot of jazzy feel to it, and I like it. I like it a lot. This ends up being my favorite Christmas album. I've heard quite a few at this point. The Isley Brothers, I believe, have one. I believe Patti LaBelle has like 2 or 3 in her catalog, but this ends up being my favorite of all of those. Now, the hits in this end up being Frosty Rag, Christmas Fantasy, and Christmas Time Is Here. The feel of this was very festive, energetic, and jazzy, and loving, and how it feels, that is how it feels in this album. And the instrumentation kept the album feeling pretty jazzy and pretty energetic. So it's pretty cool. The content of this album spoke on love, fantasies in a romantic way, spoke on Christmas and the togetherness of family and world peace and global connection, and also a sleigh ride. My favorite song in this ends up being Christmas Fantasy. This song is just sensual and beautiful. The idea of taking someone that you've been dating and fantasizing for them as a Christmas fantasy is interesting. Also, Moonlight Sleigh Ride is a really lively Christmas song that I'm just a fan of the feel of as well. Now, the hits in this album, I already did the hits in this album. So that is kind of all, right? But it's kind of all. But let's get to the conclusion. Now, the hits of Sweet Love, Sweet Love, hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame. All right, hold on. Let me see if we can do that with my voice and not hers. I cannot emulate these people. They are greats, goats, fantastic. They have skills and they have trained for years. Me, I just be hearing the song and be trying to emulate sometime. But let me see if I can hit it in my voice. I'm in love, sweet love. Hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame. Yeah, that wasn't it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Anyway, with hits like Sweet Love, giving you the best that I got, 365 days of the year, same old love. I want the same old love. What's wrong with you? Why don't you come on? You understand what I'm saying? With hits like Sweet Love, giving you the best that I got, same old love, talk to me, caught up in a rapture, just because there are a plethora of tracks that people would know from the Queen of Quiet Storm. Now, the feels in her catalog gave romance, love, lust, heartbreak, sadness, resiliency, jazzy vivaciousness, relationship euphoria, and gratuitous feels throughout her singing. But the content actually spoke on a number of things like infidelity, family appreciation, relationship struggle, love, heartbreak, infidelity, success, the success of a good relationship, and world peace and caring for all. My my favorite songs in order end up being Caught Up in the Rapture. Caught up in the rapture of you. Come on now. Caught up in the rapture, whatever it takes, good love, sweet love, and talk to me. These songs just capture a particular feeling so well with being caught up in love or desiring good love or wanting someone to talk out issues with you or being willing to do whatever it takes for your partner. You know? All right. Now, drama. Recently in 2023, Anita had a bit of drama when she kicked out fans out of her live show because Anita has a frustration with fans flashing bright camera lights like in the front row, you know, recording close to the stage. And she says that it's distracting to her and it's distracting to the traditional decorum of her live performances. And as somebody, keep in mind that Anita Baker is, I believe, 68 presently. She's 68 presently. She came up in an era where that wasn't a thing, you know? And the first album came out in 84. That camera shit didn't start till 2010, 2015 or something like that. Like where people would go to concerts and record with their own camera, you know? And I do think it's beautiful that we can record presently and, you know, have that experience to ourselves and like watch it randomly when we want to for nostalgia. But I do think that the artists of the times before, it is tough, I think, just because they've had such a long time without it, you know. These times we're in are new. So I kind of understand that one, although it is kind of shitty to, you know, pay for an artist and get kicked out, you know. But the only other drama I'll note here is the classic fighting the label for her masters, legally speaking. She took a lengthy hiatus in the prime of her fame from 94 to 04 due to the legal battles and her wanting to be there for her two sons. You know, she just found recording, performing, and parenting and touring to not really be possible altogether. And honestly, how do you like tour and have a kid and manage a relationship and still write and still stay up on your stay in your performance vibe? Because being in performance vibes, it takes energy. You aren't just yourself, you're playing yourself up. And I understand that, not because I'm a megastar like Anita Baker, but I understand that it is a bit of a persona that you have to put on, and it takes energy and effort to maintain that. And how can you do that while still trying to, you know, mother two sons and manage a relationship and stuff like that? So, yeah. But, honestly, what is this? My conclusion for before, honestly, of all of the R&B artists I've done for StryfeSight, I know the least about Anita Baker. Or I knew the least about Anita Baker. So this was a treat. The only song I knew prior was Sweet Love, Same Old Love, and Good Love, which are good songs, but those were the only songs I knew, you know. But after, I have to give praise to her ability to stay very pure vocally with a lower tone and being able to shift to higher tones with ease and stay pure, you know, stay with a pure voice with great breath control. Anita has a unique vocal style that kind of made me feel like a little similar to like opera or operatics, maybe, or I don't know if operatics is the word, but it reminded me of like opera a little bit, where sometimes it's a tad difficult to understand when going from like low pitch to high pitch and staying up there, which for me required a couple of re-listens, but it is a skill, and it is a skill to be able to do what she does. And you can color me impressed with her in that, for sure. So don't get caught up in the rapture. Talk to me. And remember, no one in the world can make you feel like an angel with sweet love. She keeps giving you the best that she got. A true vibe maker. Go listen to the amazing, awesome Queen of Quiet Storm, Anita Baker. StryfeSight done, baby. Yeah.